There once was a man and his beloved wife who lived happily together in a small house overlooking a magnificent garden full of the most beautiful flowers, fruits, and herbs. The only thing that could make them happier would be to have a child of their own. The man's wife was quite taken with the beautiful flowers growing in the garden. She wished for them so much that one day her husband decided to venture into the garden to fetch some for her. He would have to be careful, though. The garden belonged to an evil witch. He returned home with a basket full of the most beautiful flowers and the ripest apples. His wife was so pleased, but still she longed for more. The man entered the witch's garden. He had just begun to fill his wheelbarrow with seed when all of a sudden the witch appeared. She was furious to find the man stealing from her garden. Her anger softened and she agreed to let them have all the seed they wanted if they promised to give her their firstborn child. The man, in his terror, agreed. Many years passed before the man's wife gave birth to their first child, a beautiful baby girl. Rapunzel grew to be the most beautiful young woman in the land, and the witch did not want to lose her. So she locked Rapunzel away in a tall tower, hidden deep in the forest. The tower had no doors or stairs, and was warded by the witch's evil cat. When the witch wished to see Rapunzel, she would call, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," so that she could climb up to the top of the tower. Rapunzel spent her days playing music on her harp. One day, a handsome prince was walking in the forest when he heard the most beautiful music. He searched and searched, but could not find where it came from. Darkness was falling, so, reluctantly, he returned home to his palace. But he could not forget the beautiful music. It was not long before he was drawn back to the forest. As the prince neared the tower, he caught sight of the witch and her cat. He quickly hid so as not to be seen by her. Silently, he waited. As soon as the witch had gone, the prince cried up to the top of the tower, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Immediately her hair fell down and the prince climbed up. Rapunzel shouted, "Who are you and what do you want?" She had never seen a real prince before. "I am a prince from a palace not far from this forest," replied the prince softly, "and I've come here to discover who was playing such beautiful music." Rapunzel grew fond of the handsome prince. He agreed to visit her secretly every evening after the witch, who only came during the day. One evening, the prince asked Rapunzel if she would marry him. She said she would and laid her hand on his. All of a sudden, the witch appeared. She was furious to find the prince in the tower with Rapunzel. "I banish you to the dreaded desert of doom," screeched the witch to Rapunzel. In a flash, Rapunzel was gone. "And you," said the witch to the prince, "you shall never see your beloved Rapunzel again." The witch vanished in a puff of purple smoke, and the prince found himself alone in the forest. He searched Rapunzel. After searching high and low, he finally reached the desert of doom. "Rapunzel!" cried the prince as he ran towards her. Rapunzel knew his voice the moment she heard it. She fell on his neck and wept tears of joy. "Oh my gosh, I thought I was never going to find you. Let's do something, but only if you want," started the prince. "Look, I've been thinking that going back to the palace and get married and spend the rest of our lives would be a bit boring. Fantastic, but boring. And after all what has been going on, I think we could travel around the world and have some fun, and maybe then we could return and get married. Do you like this idea?" asked anxiously the prince. "Yeah, of course, but there's just a little problem." There appeared a silence before Rapunzel started talking again. "Where are we going to start our trip? I mean, in which city?" "I do not really mind, as long as I'm with you," answered the prince. "Then let's start with Barcelona."
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a
10 years later, after visiting each city on earth, they got married and decided to set up a family.
I've tried playing it cool, but when I'm looking at you, I can't ever be brave, 'cause you make my heart race. Shot me out of the sky,